Hello, welcome to Romance Book Monsters. I am Kitty Boom, and this is my co-host Lollipop. How are you doing today?
I am good, thank you. It's one of those balmy mid to high 70s days that is a surprise during the summer. So I'm enjoying it. It's not too hot, not cold. Perfect.
I know, right? And it's kind of one of those days that like begs for you to just like crawl into your bed with a good book and just like get started on that next series or whatnot.
Now, it's the best day to go to the grocery store because your stuff won't go bad while you're driving home. So, right after this recording, that's where I'm going.
Gotcha. Yeah, I need to work on my grocery list. I'm not going to the grocery store. Instacart is my friend.
I understand. I understand.
So today we are reading the next book. If you've been following us, we have started reading this co-collaboration between Ciara St. James and C. Bowerman. And so today we are covering Executioner's Enthrallment by Ciara James. And like I said, this is a part of a collaborative effort with C. Bowerman covering two different MCs. And I'm really enjoying like this collaborative line. Usually I don't do collaborations like this. I may read like one or two, but so far I've been like sticking with each book as it's being released. And Ciara St. James, like her MC, like they are like early 20s to late 30s, past military men. So, they are in that stage where they're finding love and they're having children. And then you have C. Bowerman's line. Her guys, they are all former inmates of prison, and you wouldn't think that was sexy or cool, but she manages to make it just right. And these guys, they're all in their late 40s to early 50s, so they're meeting like older in love ladies. So it's like a little bit of everything. I really enjoy like the big age range that you get to see romance happening at.
I agree because no one wants to think that if they are no longer in their 20s or 30s, romance is dead for them. As we've seen,
Right.
people are finding love later and later. So
Mm-hmm.
seeing it reflected in romance novels now is actually a great thing because it's reflecting society.
Yes, most definitely. Like I love like in C. Bowerman's where you see like the people like they're 50 and they're like maybe they're divorced and they're finding their second love or a better love than the love that they had. And so that's very encouraging. But then, in this year, St. James, you see it sometimes they're 23. Actually, it's sometimes like a bit annoying and you kind of see like the maturity that you get with age sometimes and the different things that the characters will and will not put up with. And sometimes you're looking at these 23-year-old characters and it's like, come on, like let them explain why we keep going through it.
We got to remember we were young once.
Yes, so
Definitely.
there's that also. So let me have a look-see at my notes.
I'm not going to lie. Sky so far is probably my favorite heroine of 2021. I'm not going to lie. I loved her to death.
Yes, yes, yes.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Oh, and did we mention that they're in this small town and it seems to be like a hotbed for crime like lately? Like it's some of everything going on. It's drug dealing, it's extortion, it's uh sex trafficking, it's car theft, it's some of everything. But this book specifically is going to deal with the extortion of small businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So the main character, Sky, her and her mother, they own and run a flower shop, and they are being like shaken down once a month for like $500 by the local criminals to pay for protection money. And so, Executioner, he steps in when he finds out that, they are being like harassed. And then it's kind of a bit of a shock to everyone because they have a lot of past between them that no one knew that they had. Apparently, a month before all of this came to light, she had Sky, the main character, had a one night stand with Executioner and he didn't know her name and she didn't know his name. And they're very surprised to see each other in the same town. So that was an interesting take on things.
Well, right, because it was in a completely different state. So the fact that it even happened and then they bumped up together. So he's like, "Oh, I've been looking for you."
Yes, I've been looking for you. I had no name. I had no way of finding you whatsoever. So he was like very happy to see her, but she was not happy to see him because she has like serious daddy issues because her father was like a big jerk that left her and her siblings and her mother. Like he took everything and just up and left.
He was definitely
Never to be heard from again. And
Mhm.
I know I like feeling in my bones like one of these books in the series is going to be her mother getting a story and we're going to see the father like get his comeuppance. So I can't wait for that to come out.
Right, because isn't Executioner, aka Slate's friend, interested in the mama?
Actually, a couple of his friends are in the mama. She has her pick.
Right. So that's going to be an older woman, slightly younger man romance if it happens.
No. Oh,
Because
yes. It's going to be an older woman, slightly younger man.
she'd be in her mid to late 40s and they're in their late 30s, probably.
Oh no, if she ends up with his friend, the friend was in the military for over 20 years.
So he could be in his late 30s if he joined right out of high school.
He's been in the military over 20 years.
If he joined at 18, he'd be 38.
38 is the minimum, yes.
Yes. So I'm saying he could still be in his late 30s, maybe even early 40s, 40, 41 if he joined at 21 to say example.
But I mean, they could be the same age because Sky is only like 22, 23 years old. The
Right,
mother
so
had her at 18, 20 years old.
and that's also true. I don't recall if they said that they could have. Anyway, we're getting into minutia. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's within the range that is still normal. It's in the normal range of 5 years or so.
Also, if you've been following the series, you know that I have been getting a little bit impatient on the route in which these bad guys are being found or they're figuring out what's happening with them. But I must say that this book, it gave me just enough and like finding the bad guy that I'm not as like frustrated. I've like found a renewed patience for the line and the rate at which they are like finding the guy. Because I do realize that once they find who this head person is, it's probably going to be like over. Because I don't think the guy has like a military or anything to like fight for books and books. Mm-hmm. I think it's like a regular like rich person or common person in their town that's like over all this stuff and he doesn't.
And I think part of it was that it was satisfying, right? So what did happen in the book was very satisfying. It's not only just like the little bottom tier, they got further than in all of the other books when it came to getting rid of more bad guys. It's not just one bad guy and maybe a stalker. It was just bad guys that they got rid of. So I felt like the story was progressing in that sense. But also, as I mentioned earlier, Sky is my favorite heroine of this series, but probably of 2021. She is a badass. She will fight you. She loves her family. Her family is her everything. So when that one skank was saying all that stuff and went and said that things to her younger brothers who were in high school, she went out there, she grabbed that girl by her head and beat her behind, and then was slamming her face into steps and stuff. I was like, that's how you do it. Don't ever let you open your mouth and say nothing to my siblings, because we're going to be fighting it too. Let me tell you, I loved it. I loved every second of it. I was like, not only was Executioner a badass, he's also crazy. Let's just remember that he's a torturer.
Oh, when they tortured the guy in the
Mm-hmm.
torture
Was
room.
enjoying it a wee bit too much. But hey, she got that side of her personality where she will fight you, and he got that side of his personality where he will torture you and then kill you. So perfect mix.
What was it? You wasn't supposed to kill him yet. I was supposed to get to talk to him first. That was crazy. 'Cause what
Exactly.
is it? What is it they have for their like interrogation room? Is it like an old meat packing warehouse?
Mm, it was they have like on
With the incendiary
old
in there.
yeah, on old girl's property there was some kind of like slaughterhouse or something.
Yes.
Hmm. Don't ask me her name though, but she had a slaughterhouse in the back.
Yes. And you know, Sky, even though yes, I did like enjoy her because of her age, there was a couple of frustrating moments and you really just had to take in, okay, she's so young. You gotta give her a little bit of slack when she keeps like having situations where she's half hearing things or only hears one side. Like when she heard the guy talking to his friend about the party that they were going to throw for him at the club as like his welcome party, and she thought that meant that he was going to go out and go and sleep with random girls and whatnot and cheat on her, and she like got up and packed and left town and everything. It was
Okay.
crazy.
But then you also have to remember she has deep rooted trust issues.
She
She
does.
got daddy issues. But also, if I had just heard that one side of they hadn't been, you acting like they've been together for more than 2 minutes.
I don't know. I'm not saying that she shouldn't have been upset. I mean, I would have
But,
knocked on
but,
the door.
but then she also had just found out that she was expecting. So
She
there was
did.
a lot going on. And this is what she heard. I would have packed up a bit like deuces too. You ain't worthy of being in my life.
Oh yeah, she did get pregnant from that one night stand, didn't she?
Exactly. So, as much as we say, like, why would she do that? When you add up everything, it's a new relationship, trust issues, daddy issues, and the side of the conversation she did hear, knowing that they got the motorcycle chicks or whatever they want to call them, that's just there for that situation. She and she's young, and this is her first real relationship. Like, it all compiles up to for her to make a knee jerk um, decision to protect herself. Like, I don't blame her at all.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of logical. Better she did that than went in there to fight him or something. You know what I'm saying? Like come on now, or got it. Like, there's things that could have happened differently.
That's
So,
true. And oh my gosh, like I was so like upset for them, even though they're like fictional characters, when they were like basically kind of like starving themselves a little bit in order to pay this protection money that some ridiculous person decided, oh, you have a business and I'm
mhm,
gonna come harass you for what you worked for.
mhm,
That was so
right.
irritating. And they're like trying to stretch their food and groceries and
Mhm.
all of that stuff.
Yeah, she wouldn't eat so that her younger brothers could eat, which is really bad. And she was working with the mom. She was working her side business, which was doing accounting stuff.
Mhm.
And you could tell that she was real smart. She was connecting the dots for a few things.
Oh,
So
I can't wait to see how her future boss, who we think is a part of like all of this crime, like he could actually be one of the masterminds. See how like that's gonna play out in later books. The guy that has up in the real estate business, the brother.
he's not her boss.
Well, she works for that company and they are over that company, so he's one of her bosses.
But she didn't end up taking it over, remember? Because the brother freaked out.
Right. But I think he's definitely gonna like come up in later books as one of the people that's involved in it.
I would say with the brother, yes. I don't know about the brother she was working with.
I don't think the brother she was like directly reporting to is involved, but I think that other brother is.
Oh, for sure. He acted a little too crazy when he
Yes.
found out that she was reviewing the books.
And then when she looked at the properties and it was like, how are these properties making money?
It's definitely some bribing going on for sure because they're not in use. So who's paying rent for properties they're not using?
Right.
hmm But yeah, I love this book. I thought it was a really good book. It was a fast read. It was fast paced. I really enjoyed the characters. I mean, for me, it was a hit. I loved
Yeah,
it.
it
5
was
out of 5.
a hit for me also, and it definitely has me like ready to go and read the next book, which actually just came out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't have the name of it right now, but it's by C. Bowerman. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely going to be starting on that soon.
Yeah.
But the line is definitely like picking up. Like I would be interested to know like how many books in total are going to be a part of this series.
Right. But you know what? We could also see, and this is just me throwing this out there, that they get the local person and then find out it's, bigger, like statewide or something, because
Right.
there are a significant amount of people in both of these motorcycle clubs. So I'm assuming, based on, previous behaviors, especially by C. Bowerman, everybody gets a book. So I do think it's a good chance that they might find out that it is a situation where it might be statewide after they get the local person.
That's going to be interesting too. Like, but then when I think of like both of these offers seem to be like really like good, like producers, I guess the
Mm-hmm.
word that comes to mind as far as books goes. Like,
Yeah, they're prolific.
government has like something coming out at least once a month from all these different lines. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a long, long line,
Mm-hmm.
since both her and Ciara St. James seem to write a lot under their own names by
Mm-hmm.
themselves. So I'm not sure if it would be able to extend like past that.
Well, and I say long, but
Well,
I
not
mean,
saying that one couldn't continue after
yeah, we
you
don't know how many
said
books they.
over the two of them. So
Mm-hmm. We don't know how many books they agreed to write. I'm just like, if I remember correctly, there's like 6 or 7 main people in Ares Infidels, which is Ciara St. James's line. I can't remember how many were in
it's about the
Ciara's.
same amount for time served.
Yeah. So
And then, I mean, who knows where it could go, especially when you consider like that Until series by Royal Reynolds. Like she has that whole Until world where all these other authors have come. Like that line has like extended into 37 extended books from other authors, not even including like the 10 to 15 that Aurora Reynolds wrote herself
right,
for the actual characters within it. So
you know who did something like that? Eve Langus also did something like that. And there's actually quite a few authors who have opened their worlds up for other authors to write in. So I do think it's a fascinating trend, and I like it. I think it's interesting. All right. So yeah, I think
that's all
that's
we have for this book for today. I definitely recommend that you go out and read it. Have you read any of the other Kindle World series books that we haven't mentioned and you enjoyed them? If so, let us know in the comments who the author is and what the line is so we can check those out too. Or any other collaborative efforts between your two favorite authors that you enjoy that we haven't covered. Let us know what those are too.
all right. Stay blessed.
All right, have a good one.
Bye.